JR, it's Damian Martin's celebration this weekend. I suspect you'd like your players to play like Damian Martin with that intensity this weekend, because it's still very important where you sit on the ladder.
Oh, look, absolutely. Throughout the week, very popular question. So anytime you can celebrate individual brilliance in successful situations, and Damo exemplifies that. And then to answer your question regarding playing like him, if we want to get to the places we want to get to, we need that tenacity and that grit, the way that Damo used to play, for sure.
Did you play many games against him?
He was with the mighty West Sydney Spirit back in those days.
So you never faced him as a Wildcat?
No. Yeah.
What do you remember of him as a player?
Yeah, so what I remember is obviously what he's recognised for is the grit, the determination, the defence. But what I would say, people saw him at the Wildcats, but before that was just his determination to make it successful. But then, in saying that, every good player needs a coach to believe in him, and Rod Beveridge truly had great belief in him, and those two did terrific things for a long time.
Have you used it at all to make some men talk, or do you have Bill tell the guys who never saw him play like Christian and Jordan all about Damian Martin as the heart of the day?
Look, one of the things I want to make sure our players understand is the history of this club. So we try and do that. I think players should be respected before the occasion or the moment. So if anyone comes into our program and doesn't understand all the retired Jersey guys and the guys that have been successful, and successful as winning championships, you need to understand and appreciate the history. So I would be flabbergasted if no one didn't know who Damian Martin was and his style of play before this. And they can join in the festivities post-game and really remember him for what he's done for this club.
You've been very strong in every game, worth saying.
Yep.
Occasion after a game, does that add a little bit of pressure because you set the tone for the crowd afterwards?
No.
They'll be in.
No. It's, as I said, it's great to celebrate achievements. But if that's what it takes for us to get motivated and win in the situation we're in, it's only going to last for a week unless we're retiring someone's jersey the following week. Now it's great to appreciate and recognise, and he has great synergy with our group. So we can enjoy the moment, have some good laughs, but I certainly don't use Damian Martin as motivation. We need to enjoy and celebrate that moment for him.
Can I ask about the game in particular? You have clinched playoffs now, so what do you work towards from now on, aside from the championship? But what are till the end of the regular season, what are you working on?
Yeah, so we have 4 games remaining, but all we can worry about is New Zealand coming in Sunday. We need to improve our rebounding. If we don't improve our rebounding, it's going to be hard to get to the lofty goals that every team's looking to achieve right now. So if we don't address that and get better in those areas, it doesn't matter. But we also have our own things to fight for, our own, everyone gets excited for play-ins, we were in that last year. I'd prefer to finish in the top 2 because there's great advantages in the playoffs for that. So we have our own stuff to play for.
From that rebounding perspective, what do you focus on to try to improve that? It's been up and down at different points. You can really at some points or another point. So is it a focus element for them, or is there something else that comes in to just make change?
Yeah, look, you obviously emphasise it at practice, but then I try and utilise film and show success, what success looks, but then also when we're at the other end of it, it doesn't look great and it can be costly. You can see that this group is primed to achieve some nice things. We don't want to let ourselves down in that area.
Felt like you're at your best from a rebounding perspective when you were dog hungry and there was danger around from a ladder perspective when we lost. Is that an element of attitude and focus and desperation all combined?
I think we should be desperate every time we play because there's still plenty up for grabs before we enter into the play-in and the playoffs. So I want to see an improved mark in that area. Like last week against Illawarra, they just pounded us on the glass, where we bounced back and we beat Southeast on the glass. And both those two teams are the number 1 and 2 teams in the league offensive rebounding wise. So as you said, when we have a good mentality and focus to it, we can impose our will in that area as well.
So it is more mentality than who the team you're playing, because a lot of teams have the big tall timber and the big bodies.
Yep.
Doesn't necessarily correlate with
It,
how you go.
absolutely not, and to a degree, who's on the floor. You need 5 guys in the fight. When you got 3.5, it's hard to win a fight 3 on 5. So the more numbers we can get in the fight, the more success we'll have.
Jordan Usher, okay?
Yes, yeah, he was at practice this morning. Yep.
The ownership side of things, does it affect you at all? There's been a lot of talk about the ownership and where your owners are at this stage, and then overnight, obviously, with this, they're selling off stakes of the club. Does that affect you, one, as a coach, and 2, as a team out on the court?
No, like I'm not sure what you're referring to, but like for us, we have our job to do, so we can only focus on what's important and what gets that, because we're in an industry. If we don't perform at a certain level, that part becomes irrelevant. So we need to care about and worry about what we can do.
And Bryce seemed to get an explanation from the referees. He described it 2 days ago, that it's him getting past the defender so they don't call the foul. Have you spoken to the league about this, and have you tried to make sense of it, because it seems a little strange, that explanation?
No, like Bryce, I think, handled himself well. That was nearly a week ago. We've moved on. I got to focus on New Zealand and getting our team better.
A few of the experts, I say, said that your little outburst at the end of the presser was more gamesmanship, just to try and get yourself an advantage in the playoffs. Is that the case?
Like, playoffs are still like a month away. Everyone has their opinion at this time of the year.
Adam Ford got the $1,000 for $1,000 fine for being sarcastic with his comments about the league. Did you get any trouble for asking a good question that you asked the media?
Not that I'm aware of.